All right, let's see. Almost everybody made it back. And you guys go. Is that the one? Yeah, that's
Oh no, I grabbed one.
Oh, you did? Oh, so you need it. All right, guys, here we go. The last idea of the day. Turn on? I did. That was an exciting part of it. Oh, shoot. Let's turn this back on. So, stop. What does this mean? Mean slope, sure, but keep going. Slope of, sure, okay, derivative. So here's a really key thing. Calculus, the word for slope is derivative. When I say derivative in calculus, we know that means slope, which is actually average rate of change. It's how much something changes over time. Yes? If I let x change by this much, how much does y change over that time period? How much something changes over time? The average rate of change. But get more specific. That is the slope or derivative of f at 2. Okay, so what's the slope roughly at 2? What can you tell me? Anything you know about the slope at 2? What do you think it looks like it's trying to be there? So slope right at 2. What's it look like it is? Is it a turning point right there? So what is the slope then? It can't be going down because then it hasn't gotten to the turning point yet. It can't be going up because then it's left the turning point. Right at the turning point it is 0 slope, yes? Doesn't mean there's no slope. It just means the slope is flat. Okay. Is that cool? So let's put that underneath. That is 0. Because the whole idea here is to arrange them in order. So that is 0. What about f prime of 3? Some of these we're not going to be able to get the exact number, but you can describe it. What's true about it? The slope at 3. Yeah, if you take 3 and you go straight up, that slope right there, that slope is really what? Is it negative or positive?
Positive.
Is it big or small? Kind of big, yeah? So it's big positive. You with me? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say this is big positive. I'm okay that I can't get a number. I'm hoping that if anything else is positive, it's small positive because then I can order them. Yes? All I care about is how they are relative to each other. You can do the other two. I'll wait. Okay, I have no idea. I've got that song in my head. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. you get the idea, you should be done. If you don't get the idea, you might not finish it. So, f prime and -7. Can anyone tell me anything about that? Is it positive or negative?
Negative.
Yeah, it's negative. And it's kind of big, especially if you look at f prime of 1. What's f prime of 1?
Little.
It's negative, but is it as negative as this one?
No.
So this one's big negative, and this one is small negative. Does that make sense? Now later, if I know the function, we'll actually be able to calculate exactly what the slope is. We're not going to guess, we're not going to do limits, we're just going to calculate exactly what it is, quickly, without all this limit crap. But right now, we're just getting a feel for this. So, in increasing order, what's the smallest? Huh? No. F prime of -7. It's big negative. And then what's the next bigger? And of course, we all know on a number line, this is smaller. This is bigger. So what's the next one? F prime of 1, because that's still negative, but it's not as big negative. Good Lord, Jeff. And then what's the next one? 2, because that's 0 now, and then of course now I'm in positive territory, so that's the biggest is f prime of 3. In terms of the ones we looked at. Yes? Do you guys see that? So you don't have to calculate the change in line, you don't have to draw the change in line, you don't have to do it, you can kind of visualize, okay, that's positive. Oh, that one is positive, and so is this one, but this one's bigger positive. You could do that level of assertion right now. Doesn't require any calculations. Now we get to interpreting symbology here. So let's see, a company's profit is a function of the number of advertisements they run over the course of a month. Yes? And if you, I don't know, if you watch YouTube videos, advertisements are a big deal. So the more they can get the word out there, the more they should expect to make. Now, do you think there's a sweet spot? Like, could you spend too much money on advertising? Yes, very easily. Yes. Could you spend not enough money on it? So somewhere there's a sweet spot. Are you with me? So I think I told you guys about financial analysts. I don't remember if I did. Their whole thing is to try to figure out, take all the variables. What's the price we should set this at to get the most profit? So they're always chasing that highest point. Yes? Determining by what's the current supply, demand, what's the whatever. So, here's the thing. Oh man, there's always a question about what order to introduce these ideas to you. Do you guys remember that this fundamentally is the slope and the slope is the change in y over the change in x. Oh shit, look what I did. It's too big. You guys ever seen those triangles before? In the context of this change in? So it's the Greek capital letter delta. When I see the capital letter delta meaning a change, that means a big change. Now very quickly, 10 to a billion, is that a big change? What about 0.1 to 0.2? Is that a big change? Oh, that is a huge change. 0.1 to 0.2, that's insanely big. That's a huge change. How many numbers are between 0.1 and 0.2? How many numbers? Infinite numbers. Now that's a huge change then. So anything that we could actually find on a number line is a big change because there's an infinite number of things between. Remember how we let h get really small, go to 0? So we're letting the difference in them get really, really small. And if in the limit as h goes to 0, does it ever get to 0? But it gets really small. It gets to be the smallest positive number. What the shit is that, Jeff? The smallest positive. So watch this. Oh, be careful. It's not equal to this, I'm sorry. Back in algebra, it was this. So this is the limiting process. This one is equal to dy dx. More specifically, df dx. The change in y over the change in x. And when I use the letter d, that means infinitesimally small. If I want to know the slope right at a point, that means I want to know where will it go if I change x by the smallest amount I can. Where will it go? Because the slope at a function could be this, yes? If I move just a little bit, doesn't the slope change a little bit? So if I really want to keep the slope the same, how far can I move away from that point? The smallest amount I can to keep it the same. I don't know if you guys are with me or not, but these are called infinitesimals. dy and dx is the smallest change in those. So if I have a function and I let x change by a little bit and y change by a little bit, if I blow that up, x change by a little bit, y change by a little bit, dy dx is the derivative. This is way too big of a scale. It's got to be infinitesimally small, but I'm not going to try to draw that for you. Yes, I will. Here it is. You ready? There it is, right there. Okay, I just drew that picture right there. Okay, and this is it blown up to impossible scales. So all I'm trying to say is, if my position is p, yes, if I say p is the position at some time, are you all with me? So at time 0, I'm at position 3. And then at time 4, I'm at position 5. Are you with me? What would this be? This is how much my position changes over how much time has changed. And what is that, of course? That would be my
slope. Oh.
Physical. That slope is specifically what? How much my position changes over time is how my speed.
Oh.
My speed.
Rated.
Right? Miles per hour. Change in position over change in time is speed. Yes. Okay, so it's an average rate of change of position. We just call that shit speed. Yes? Okay. But I need you to realize. So this would be p prime. Those are two different ways to write the same idea. Which one tells me what units I'm going to have at the end? This one does. If my position is in miles and my time is in hours, miles per hour. Do you see that? So this notation is much better if I'm really worried about units. This notation is much better if I'm just worried about getting the damn answer and there's no units. Do you guys see that? So looking back at the handout. What time is it? Oh man, I never have enough time. Do you remember the profit of the company? If they spend some money on the advertisements, they expect it to go up to a certain point. It's profit though, so even if they spend more money on advertisement, they might get more revenue, but overall they're spending more than they're getting, so they might lose at the end. You guys? So maybe it's gonna look like this, and there's some sweet spot. Are you guys at all with me? You can spend way too much money, just not everything, just spend every dollar we got. Well then your revenue might go up, but your overall profit's gonna go down. Is that all? And that's as much as I ever want to talk about business. I hate business. If you're a business major, more power to you. Have fun with it. How do I figure out the units of p prime n? Can anybody change that into the other notation we just talked about? How can I rewrite this? I'll get it started. D P over D N. Kick ass. Now, here's the kick ass thing. If I'm worried about the units, put it in that form. What units is P in? Thousands of dollars, and what unit is N in? Number of advertisements. So this would be thousands of dollars. This would be dollars. We'll just put dollars per ad. Yes? So like miles per hour, dollars per ad. Are you with me? So if I know my DPD and if I know my P prime, that predicts how much more money or less if it's negative I could make if I did another ad, for example. Does that make sense? If I'm going 80 miles an hour, that tells me how far I should go in the next hour. Assuming it doesn't change. Now, in the real world, if I put a little more money into my ad, do other variables change? Could my slope then change a little bit? So what we normally do is we do small tweaks. I think we can make more money. Okay, put like 3 more ads out, and then they reevaluate. Are you guys with me? Because now they're in a different territory. They've changed variables, and they got to reevaluate. I don't want that job, even though that job makes a lot of money. I don't want that job. Okay. What would it mean if this was positive? I need you to understand, if P is positive, what does that mean? Because what does P represent? Profit. If P is positive, I'm making money. Really listen to me. If P prime is positive, I could be losing a shit ton of money. P prime being positive doesn't tell me shit what P is. What does P prime tell me most fundamentally? It tells me how what is changing. What's P? What's P? Profit. So P prime is how my profit's changing based on how many ads I'm running, right? So I could be losing a shit ton of money. If P prime is positive, it will mean the same thing always, no matter how much money I'm making. If I ran another ad, if P prime is positive, it's predicting I should make. If P prime is positive, like if slope is positive and I move a little bit over this way, my output should move a little up, yes? Yes, that's what slope fundamentally means. So if P prime is positive, that means if I increase the number of ads, I should expect an increase in profit. Because that's what slope positive means. An increase in X should make an increase in Y if my slope is positive. If I take too big of a step, I could move to where the slope changes and I could actually, so that's why we make small changes. I really want you with me on this. So look. This is a weird idea. Do y'all agree with me the slope is going up here? Yeah. So that's predicting if I move over, I expect to go up. If I move over too far, didn't I actually go down from where I was? Do you see what I mean? All right. So if I take too big of a step, I could accidentally move to where my slope is actually going the other way. Okay. So, but what does this mean? We would expect, if we increase the number of ads, we would expect that our profit would go up. So you could even be more specific. You can say, with a slight increase in ads, I expect my profit to go up. Yes? If P prime is negative, if I increase the number of ads, I expect my profit to go down. So what should I do if P prime is negative? I should pull back on some ads. Let's just stop spending and take a little money out of our advertising budget. You with me? Because maybe we've oversaturated and we're not getting returns on that. Again, that's the most I want to talk about business. So what would it mean if we spent a little, what time is it? More on ads, expect profit to go up. Now I'll get a little more specific. What does this statement mean exactly? We'll tear it apart. What does 10 mean? Be very specific. What does 10 mean? 10 ads in a month, right? Okay. Because from the very beginning I told you that was the number of ads per month. So now we're going to get a little more technical. So what does that mean then? I am currently running 10 ads a month. And if I'm doing that, what does this whole statement mean? What does this mean? What does that prime mean? Change it. So do I have any idea how much profit I'm actually making in this situation? I didn't tell you, I didn't give you that information. But I know that the P prime is positive. So if I'm running 10 ads, one way to answer this question is, should you run more ads? If you're running 10 ads right now, and P prime of 10 is 20, should you run more ads? Yes, because that means you would make more money. So I would expect $20,000 more for every ad I run. Because again, I really remember, this is P prime. So this is DPDN is 20 over 1. So what does that really mean? One more ad is 20,000. Yes, it's in thousands more profit. Yes. Will it be exactly that? No, because one is actually a big step, and maybe it's not quite 20,000. But I could do a tweak. I'll say, okay, let's buy one more ad spot. We'll just put a little more money out there, and let's see what happens. Then we'll reanalyze, and they're like, oh shit, pull back, or whatever. You guys kind of with me? Okay, a little bit. Does it make sense? So all we did was that must be n. So the number of ads is 10. That's how much I expect my profit to change. It's where my graph is kind of pointing. So then I make a change, and then we reevaluate. But I expect about $20,000 more if I run one more ad. Okay, maybe. Oh, and I think we already answered this. Suppose the company plans to air 10 commercials. If P prime of 10 is 20, should they run more or less? They should run more. If P prime of 10 is 0, what if P prime of 10 is 0? What should they do? Yeah, they should just call front page. I stay. Yes? You want to be hit? No. If P prime of 10 is negative, they pull back. Run less ads, spend less money on advertising. Okay. Number 3, we pretty much did already, but let me see if you guys can tease out what information I'm giving you here. I've given you everything here. Did I give you... So I want the equation of the line, yes? If I ever ask you for the equation of the line, what do you definitely need to know? The equation of the line always needs the slope. Did I tell you the slope? What's the slope? Yes. The slope at the point I'm interested in is right there, because that means slope. Slope at x equals 3 is -1. M equals -1. Did I give you a point? What's the point I gave you? 3, 5. The input is 3, the output is 5. So then could you do this business? Yes. You guys with me? So it's exactly what we just did with less work, because I already did this work for you, right? Thank you, Jeff. Do that anytime you want to. So considering it's almost 3, here's my plan. You guys all got the practice test, right? Monday's a holiday. Next Wednesday, most of next Wednesday is going to be review. At the very beginning of next Wednesday, I'm going to finish off 2.8. All 2.8 does is it does f of x plus h minus f of x over h, and it just keeps the x in. That's all it does. That's all 2.8 does. It also is where you graph the slope given the, right? What's the slope here? 0. So I would put a 0 right there. You guys understand? That would be a good first step, is to find your 0. So we'll do this first thing next time, and then the rest of class will be review. I'll have the answer key for the practice test.
So 2.6 and 2.7.
Yes. Yes. So 2.6, 2.7, you should be ready to turn them in a week from today. Yes. Well, no. It's 2 classes later, so it's the day of the test. Give them to me when you get them done. All right, guys. I'm going to go to the CISL right now. If